Look at him. He's just dickered. Just dickered, boys. Son of a bitch.
Yo, yo. Class A and macro. Not connected, not elected to participate. Bouncing down the stems will make your head hurt. Enjoy the takes.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Take a Wide. This is 248. I should mention that on the 12th of December, I believe it's the 12th, I'm just checking right now, I'm going to be doing, Wednesday the 12th at 8 p.m. Me and my buddy Derek, who runs the that's my show, the Walk Show podcast. He's celebrating his first year into it, and I'm going to help him, and we're going to do a live stream. So you can check it on Facebook or Instagram. There's an event page online right now that has more details. We're going to be doing some giveaways. I'm going to try to figure out how to take calls, and it's going to be fun. The last one I did was really fun, and I'm really happy that Derek is participating in this fun podcasting thing. So we're going to do it together, and it's going to be really cool. So December the 12th, Wednesday at 8 p.m. I think it's a good time just to tune in and participate with us. We'll talk music, and we'll all have a fucking good time. So mark your calendars. Let me bang off these sponsors. These sponsors get the episodes out to you. They help me. This shit isn't free. So please show them love, even if it's as simple as an Instagram follow. Even that is something. So first, let me start with the hot sauce. If you guys are hot sauce fans, there's a hot sauce company from Thunder Bay called Heartbeat Hot Sauce. They were on season 6 of Hot Ones, and that's huge because I'm thinking that a lot of hot sauce companies would want to get on that, but you cannot be a chump, I don't think, to get on that show. So they are 100% chump-free at Heartbeat Hot Sauce. It's so good. It's so good. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. We're actually going to be giving away a bottle on the live stream, so... you can find it in a lot of stores across Canada, some in the States too. If you go to heartbeathotsauce.com, check out their store locator, and it'll pop up and show you where. Or alternatively, well, it's hard to say, use promo code TakerWide5 when you order online, and you'll save 5% off of your cart. It's a good way to save on a big order, going on it with some friends. It's really good hot sauce. Small company that's crushing it, killing it. Just find them, scope it out, take a look, and try it out. It's super good. Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Next is DFA Tattoos. If you are in Montreal and you don't know where to go get a tattoo, go to DFA Tattoos. They're at 328 St. Catherine Est in Montreal. It's right downtown, right by Fouf's, right by... the fuck else is down there? Fouf's is my main marker, I guess I could point you guys to. It's full of talented artists and passionate people who are passionate about their business and doing good work. I was just in there. Well, I guess if you guys listened to the last episode, you would have heard the mumblings of people in the background. That's where I was at. It's fucking such a cool place, man. I don't know what else to say. It's just 100% legit. Go to DFA Tattoos if you're in Montreal. If you know someone who's heading there, tell them to stop by and get tattooed there. The audience I have is from all over the place, but even if you don't live in Montreal, you might know someone who's heading up there, or you yourself might be going there. So go get tatted by Shawnee or Melissa or Angus or any of the crazy talented people there. DFAtattoos.com. If you are in the Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo, Guelph area, and you have the money or the plans to buy a new car, namely a Toyota, and you're looking for a car salesman to work with, my good friend Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota out at 3121 King Street East in Kitchener is the man. He can make the process easy. He can make it smooth. Rigo's a really great salesman, and above that, just a really good, honest guy. So if you're looking for a car and you want to have an easy process, go find Kevin. Mention the show, and you'll get special pricing on new vehicles, which is crazy dope. Find them on Facebook and give them a like and follow, or tell someone if they're looking for a car salesman. Just go find Rigo, Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota. Next up, Ironclad Graphics. They're a custom screen printing shop in Kingston who specialize in apparel printing. They printed my Taker Wide shirts. I've been going through them for a long time for all my bands. Been doing it for a long time. They do good work. They ship coast to coast every day. So if you're looking for a merch company, throw them in the hat for someone to get a hold of. IroncladGraphics.com. Dapper Beard Oil is the next sponsor. They're a beard oil company from Ottawa. They make a really good beard oil that isn't too strong as far as the scent. It's subtle, but it's good. It's functional. It helps hydrate your beard. It's antibacterial. It helps fight beard dandruff. Andrew, the guy running it, it's his company, and he's been doing it for years as well now, and come to think of it. Really, really, really good stuff. And now that it's Christmas, it's a perfect fucking gift for your friend or yourself. Use promo code TAKERWIDE free ship. You'll save the shipping. And yeah, I think I don't know what else to tell you guys. If you have a beard or you know someone who does and you need a beard oil, there's a lot of them, but Dapper Beard Oil is super legit. Super thankful that these guys are on board with me. So dapperbeardoil.com. A couple more here. Wellington Brewery provide the beers, which is fantastic. They're Canada's oldest independently owned microbrewery. They craft award-winning beers in small batches using the freshest all-natural ingredients. It's a great it's a great fucking company. They're an active member of the community. They take part in countless events. They support charitable causes. They were doing the Guelph Wellington Women in Crisis deal where 25 cents of each can of Queen of Craft Grisette gets donated to that. And they have so many fantastic beers. If you're out and about, need a beer, grab a Welly because they're cool, because they support this show. And lastly, Dave Levitt Photography. If you are looking for a photographer and you're in Cambridge or Hamilton or 519 area, Levitt has a car. Dave's been taking photos of shows for 10 plus years. I can't imagine his how many terabytes of photos he has. Talented guy. I don't know if you guys listened to the Cellos one, but on Instagram, I'm pretty sure I used a Levitt photo to post for that. But find him on Instagram, davelevittphotography.ca. You can find him online. And he's just a talented photographer. If you guys are looking for someone, that's the guy, Dave Levitt. So, on to the episode. This episode's with my buddy John. John plays in System from Hamilton. He also is Skull Servant, like a noise act. And I saw him at the Hamilton flea market, and we kind of got to talking. And it was a thing of like, let's do an episode. So here we are. We're gonna do an episode. We're gonna talk about Hamilton. We're gonna talk about music. Talk about life, man. How heavy it is. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. This is 248. Yeah, I wanted to ask, how was the show, man? Like, I think it was on the same day me and Mark were in Toronto, right?
Yeah, you guys were playing Faith Void.
Yeah, how was it?
It was okay. I kind of threw out my back in the middle of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, getting old sucks. So
how old are you now?
45.
45, eh?
So it's a lot of mileage.
Oh.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I was just sorry. I just got a pop up that it said we can't connect with your Gmail account, and I was like,
huh.
Okay, but I created a brand new login and FaceTime account. And anyways, weird.
But yeah, so you threw out your back like halfway through the set.
Yeah, it just kind of locked up, and it was like not good. So I was kind of stuck in one position for like 3 songs.
What was it? Were you like hunched over position or?
No.
Oh, whoa! I lost him. Hold up, 1 second.
I was worried there for a second because I got like that pop up, and I was like, oh.
No, it was mine. My phone just totally froze. This phone is like, it's an iPhone 5, so I feel like it's way behind. It still runs pretty good, but yeah, we could
planned
be
obsolescence.
Yeah, totally, man. Fuck, wasn't that like a confirmed thing?
Yeah.
Anyways, you're back, so.
Yeah, so I just kind of locked it up, and then I had to help load out, so that wasn't good, and so and then where we store our gear is like 3 flights up.
Where do you guys store it? Is it
at Grant's house?
Okay.
So it's like 4 blocks away, but it's like 3 flights of stairs up.
Fuck.
So I was just kind of like at the end of it, I was like, so I just bailed.
Yeah.
After we played, I heard a bit of Blessing.
Okay.
Because they were playing as we were loading out, and they were good. And I mean, admittedly, every band on that bill was way better than anything I'd seen in recent history. So
it was a pretty sick bill, yeah. Like it's cool that Jibe, like, didn't the venue get moved too?
Yeah, well, it was originally going to be at a downtown hall, and I don't know why it got moved, but
Was it an
shit
all
happens.
ages show?
I don't think it was officially ever stated as all ages, but it was because there was no. I mean, it wasn't hard. The guy at serving beers was not gonna exactly pass it out to anyone younger than 18. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
He was an old timer.
Yeah. Word. Well, it's,
And of course, it's a vets hall too, right? So it's like
that's such
you know,
an old school. Like, I haven't done a show at a hall like that for a long time, man. Like, it's like a classic.
it was a throwback for me to the '90s because I saw so many shows at like rented halls and things like that, and it's just like, oh yeah, we used to do this a lot. Like,
Yeah, like shit, man. If at 45, like it's because you play hard too. So I'm just thinking, like, that's coming, and we're aging punk metal guys. Yeah, and I joke that, like, when I can't lift an 810, that's when I'm done. But shit, like, maybe that's in like 10 years, eh?
it could be. You also probably are a little more attentive to your body mechanics being a drummer.
I wonder. I was watching some footage from this last weekend, and I'm hunched over way more than I thought. Like, I'm comfortable, but seeing that, I was surprised. Like, holy shit! Like, I could probably play this way more ergonomically because I look like a fucking small letter C. I'm like crouched right over.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and of course, like, I had such a like I sang in bands before, so I was much freer. So, but I've always had since probably for about 20 years now, I've had a kind of a touchy back. Like my back froze up on me when I was playing in the early 2000s at a show in London. And I was like, I had gone forward and then I had gone back, but I was on my knees.
Okay.
So I was kind of like, my legs were folded under me. And then I was kind of like, oh, wow, this is really a bad spot. And I can't really move. I just kind of like fell over on my side. Just kind of curled up.
You were singing?
Yeah.
What band was that?
It was a band called Black Eyes Club.
Black Eyes Club?
Eyes Club, yeah. So, yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, like, I think about when and if a point will come. Like, I know older dudes, we all know older dudes than us that are still doing it, but, we're not, like, especially with Grobert, I'm a little more, like, dialed in, whereas with, like, Sabatini, it's a little more, like, aggressive.
Yeah.
And it seems weird to, like, play the type of music we play, but, like, held back a little bit, because, like, generally it's, like, really amped up, and you're just like, I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm gonna do it for this moment, and one day it might really actually bite us in the ass, where it's like, now we're totally dicked.
Yeah.
Hopefully not for a while.
Well, and I'm carrying around like 30 or 40 more pounds than I should be. So it's like, my behavior when I play is, I can feel it the next day. But, if I was 20 pounds lighter, it might be a little bit easier, like just enough to take that sort of like next day stiffness and kind of go,
Yeah.
But it's never bad enough that I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do that anymore. But there's kind of I've been thinking about that lately, just because life stuff, like my work life is, like, I actually kind of have a career now. Like, I didn't have a career before.
Okay.
I kind of am like, I'm kind of in a weird spot in my life where I got to kind of figure out if I'm going to career or can I still do this other stuff that I've been doing,
like the music stuff.
The blog, the podcast, all that stuff. Do do I have enough time to do it right and or as right as I can?
How new is this new like career?
Well, it's sort of fallen into my lap.
Huh.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about this officially or you know.
Well, I think it's interesting to talk about like jobs and stuff because a lot of us don't. Or like, well, mostly me. I didn't plan ahead, and I'm scrambling now. But it is a real thing where you sacrifice time and money for stability. But yeah, you're literally like maybe won't be able to express that creative side of you. So it is an interesting topic, I think.
Yeah. Well, and so, you know, just as a, you know, I've sort of fallen into a career in educational technology. So I work at, you know, a university and I do a lot of grunt work.
Okay.
But some of it's really interesting. And, you know, I get to think about a lot of crucial topics and try and, you know, think about privacy in a learning context and think about what it means to teach in an open space and share information in that open space. And I was really driven by the web because I was a web designer for a hot minute. And I got into sort of helping people build educational videos and things like that because I was a filmmaker too at one point.
Okay.
So I've like, you know, I've kind of like weaved this narrative for my career, which is not much of a career, but it's one, into something. And now I have an opportunity to sort of step forward and become management in a weird way. So we're sort of like in the next 6 months, I've got kind of like this big opportunity, hopefully, if they want to hire me. And so I'm sort of in this weird probation period where I'm trying to figure out, gee, I could, you know, have like a title, not do crappy work anymore and, you know, try and help strategy and decisions and things like that. So it's kind of like I'm kind of in this weird zone where I'm like, but I don't love it like I love music. So it's kind of like, you know, I've always tried to navigate the two waters and sort of go, yeah, I'll go work. And then, you know, as soon as work's done, my life is mine and I'll take that and I'll do what I want.
Yeah, it's well, the risk is so high because of like losing it, you know.
Yeah, and I can sort of stay doing what I'm doing, and still sort of navigate that water. But you know, part of me is going, you know what, like, kind of like I never planned anything. So I wonder if this is just sort of fate's way of sort of going, hey, go over here.
Maybe, man. I kind of believe in that kind of shit where things happen for a reason. And also I believe that we at the same time like we'll be given a deck of cards of life and we have a hand to play, but it's just like we can all play those hands. Like just myself, I didn't really think I'd be able to have a kid and tour and all this shit. And I figured it out or am figuring it out. So yeah, I don't know. I could have. It is overwhelming sometimes, but I don't know. I do believe in fate, but I also believe that we can kind of play whatever cards we're given. That's kind of, some people get some shitty cards though.
Well, yeah, and you know, like I also think about that too, right? Like if I don't step into a role, am I making space for somebody else who is a person of color, is a different gender, is, you know, has some other thing, you know? And so, you know, part of me goes, you should step back and take less, but then from a selfish standpoint, you know.
That is I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's good to at least be aware of that, but at a point, it just, for you, I don't know. It's hard to say. There's no like right answer.
No, and there's no right answer.
You would have someone who'd say you're wrong for taking it, and then you'd have someone who'd say like you're wrong for not taking it.
Well, and at some point too, when you look at the power structure of how things are, if you don't, you know, ascend to a level of power where you can actually affect change, I can still do my job. I'm a unionized person. I have, you know, very set regulated things that the union has fought for, and I'm very grateful for. But at some point, you also go, I've got some sway for whatever that's worth. And it's the same in music too, right? As you play in more popular bands, you get a bit of prestige, and you get a bit of, you just have a little bit of influence. And so using that judiciously and well is good. But if you don't have any money to back it up, or, you can make the most ethical decisions, but sometimes money gets in the way.
Yeah, it really sucks that money is such a crucial thing, that it is so crucial. Like, it is, without it, you're fucked. Like, yeah, exactly that. Like, it's a huge bummer. But this, just to kind of like note that I love musicians in music because you do it because you don't know it's not going to make you money, but you do it despite the fact that you're not making any money. And quite often at a loss. Yeah, totally, man, totally. But yeah, to have money and to have influence and to have power, like, it's all what you do with it, right? Like, it's all really how you choose to wield that. So yeah, you could use it as an opportunity. I just got a mustache.
It's all about. It's all about how you use it, I think. So I'm struggling with that a little because I don't want to give up the things that I like doing. So but at some point, and there's no, it doesn't necessarily mean that I will, but I know the level that this job is at is a significant one. And so I know the people that have been in that role before and have left for various reasons. So I know it's not an easy job. And I know they spent a lot of their own personal time in that job to that job. So
Well, what happens if you try it and then can you be like, well, actually, no, this isn't for me? Like, to take, how does that work? They're like out the door for you? Or?
So because it's a management position. They can just go, oh, well, that's too bad you left your cozy union job. I'm trying to angle it so that maybe it's a career growth for a little bit to see if I'm a good fit.
There's a big, sometimes there's like an Ice-T thing online where he's like, fuck it. He's got this whole rant about fuck it. And it's easier said than done, but I don't know. I guess you won't know till you try it, right? That's so easy for me to say because I'm not like weighing it like you are.
Oh, well, yeah, but this is what I do with everything. Like, I do this with songs. Not that I'm a big songwriter, but the songs that I do write, I've written 2 for this band, and it took me they're actually they're songs that existed in the previous band that we were in with Nate and Grant and Brett. I think you know Brett.
Yeah, what was that band?
That band was Never Trust.
Okay, that was before System?
Yeah, it was a band that lived for a hot minute in 2008, 2007. Okay. Which actually... we can get the whole chronology. It's actually, I think it's a fascinating look into my effect on bands. I think I take it personally.
Well, like your effect on bands, like negatively?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm a fucking I wreck bands.
Why?
No, it's not true. But no? I feel like sometimes I do, because going back to bands in high school. The bands that I were always in was like the next band that other people went on to were way better. I was in bands that have when I was living in Austin, I was in a couple of bands there. The last band I was in, the week before I left Austin, we were going to play one show. It's like going away show because I had been in this band with people for 2 years, and I was like, come on, let's one last show. I'm going away, so fuck it. If we suck, we suck. And that band, the week before we were supposed to play, the drummer got a car door slammed on his hand. It's just
fuck. So it didn't happen.
Didn't happen. That band was hilarious though. We went through 3 different incarnations, wrote 3 different sets each time, and by the time we sort of got about ready to play, nothing would happen.
That's not on you.
Oh, well, the common denominator is me.
I don't know. You obviously wanted it to happen. Shit.
Shit, yeah. I love the idea of being in a band. Sometimes I wonder if I love the idea of being in a band more than actually being in the band.
Huh.
Because I hate practice. Like I hate going to practice.
Well, it's a type of work. You know,
It's work.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
It's
Like it's really hard.
Now, was it like rehearse? Because I know I was in a band where it was almost militant, the practice, and that's not fun at all.
Oh no. We're easygoing. Like System is like, I've known Grant for almost 20 years. I've known Nate for probably almost that amount of time.
Wow.
Like when so probably now is a good time to tell the sort of the lineage.
Mm-mm.
So I came back from Austin, Texas in 1999.
Okay.
I moved back to Hamilton.
You were
And
born?
So Hamilton. Sorry?
Sorry, you were born up here?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Hamilton.
Okay, and then you went down to Austin.
Grew up with the guys in like Chokehold, was in bands with before Chokehold, I was in a band with Jeff Beckman called Down Twisted or 4.5 Reasons for a Retroactive Abortion. There was a whole bunch of names that band went through.
Wow.
We never did anything. It was terrible. Although I do have a tape that I keep thinking, it'd be funny just to throw it out on Bandcamp or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Jeff went off to go start Chokehold. After that band, I started another band called Cause, and 2 members of that band went in to be in Burst of Silence, who are a fairly kind of well-known chuggy straight edge band from the early 90s. They put out a 7-inch.
Was KSP in that band? In Cause?
No.
Okay.
No.
Forget his fucking band name. Anyway, sorry, I'm derailing your story.
It's all good. So I have a long history of being in the band before other people's bands that get way more successful. Chris Colahan and I were like in basement bands throughout his early career, before he got into Basket Case, and then of course before he got into Left 4 Dead, and then moved to Toronto and became a Toronto guy. No, it's not kidding.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. I love that guy to pieces. But yeah, so I've been in bands with like really famous people now. I guess.
Yeah. Seen people like.
Seen people, which is hilarious. But when I came back from
Austin,
I was kind of like done with bands. Like I'm 30. I have no career. I have no job. I have no nothing. I had just spent basically 4 or 5 years. I graduated from Sheridan College with a diploma in post-production audio for film, which wasn't really what I was into. I kind of realized I hated that world. So, I was kind of like stuck in between a rock and a hard place. I learned some web programming when I was in Austin. So I came back, somebody said, you should get into computer programming. So I did. But at the same time, I started a band called Black Ice Club with a guy named Phil Fader. Phil Fader is a fairly infamous Hamilton person. Everybody around here knew him, kind of loved him, and hated him at times. He was a good dude. So Phil and I started this band, and he's like, I want to be in a band. I'm like, yeah, me too. I really want to sing in a band again. So he knew Grant and this guy Keith and Robbie, and that 5-piece became Black Ice Club. Phil had some addiction issues, and he went off to rehab and said, just, you guys do the band, figure it out. And so we had a couple of iteration changes. We practiced for another year, and then we played a couple shows, put out a demo. We're set to record a 7-inch, and Robbie, our drummer at the time, didn't show up to recording.
Just didn't show.
Finished. And so, that was kind of the end of that band. I tried to sort of, cobble it together with some other people that maybe, switching Keith to, drums for a little while and trying to work it out, but it never ended up working out. In the meantime, Grant started playing in Gunnar Hansen.
Okay.
So he was doing a 2-guitar thing with Gunnar Hansen. Nate was the other guitarist to Gunnar Hansen. We all sort of hung out. We were friends. And so that sort of developed. And I was doing a thing with Keith from Black Ice Club in a band called Non-Believers, which was kind of a conceptual thing with some other people from Gunnar Hansen.
Okay.
That never really turned into anything, but it kind of morphed into Never Trust. Never Trust finally got together. I switched out of vocals to bass, which I had played for 20 years.
Okay.
For no real gain. I'm not musically talented naturally. Like it comes hard to me. This is really difficult.
Well, shit. Like when anyone knocks themselves, it's hard because there's it's. I think what it is, it's a comparison. You're comparing yourself to other people, but that's
sure.
other people. Like I've seen you play, and you can play. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, yeah, I can put the notes in the right place. But it takes, like some of those songs we've practiced for 3 years, and so. I'm totally, but I'm not, like, I can't listen to something and pick it up. I have to struggle with it, fight with it. It's almost like the show is the end result of me getting punched in the nuts like 20 times. Because it's just this sort of fight with, partially now also with a bit of arthritis too. Physical, there's a physical thing, there's a physical component. There's a mental component. Sometimes I just don't get the riff because Nate will play it and I'll go, oh yeah, I understand that. But I don't know where to put my fingers or how to get it all to work.
I get it, man. There's certain at least riffs that I struggle with. Like there's like a punk, there's like a like some sort of punk thing that I never really grew up with that I forever have trouble with. But I don't know. I just don't want like I don't know. Go on. Sorry, I just don't want you to think like I've seen you play. You can play, but go ahead. Keep going.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And it wasn't for cheap heat or anything. I'm I seriously everything is a struggle, and so quite often my outlet is to just take it out on the bass, which I've done like for years. I already have a crack in the body of this one. So I'm not sure that this one's going to last too long either. I'm going to have to go get another one, but. Like I like that physicality, and so part of it is music is therapy, and so all the stuff I want to yell at people that frustrate me during the work week or work month or work year, all the little irritants I have about my own self, my own hang-ups and my own stupidities and all that stuff just comes out in that 20-30 minutes.
I derailed you for a sec with the with the so basically what was the
timeline
what was the band that turned into System?
So Never Trust kind of ended and I thought that's it, I'm fucking done, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore. And then Nate was over at our house and like the people I'm in bands with are my close friends. So he said, do you want to be in a band? And I said stupidly, well, not stupidly, but I said just kind of off the cuff, yeah, sure. In my head, I was like, yeah, I want to sing in a band again.
Okay.
I didn't know I was signing up to play bass. So I was like, because, like I said, I have a real struggle with it. Even though I've played for now, I've played since I was 16.
Okay.
I'm 45, so that's almost 30 years.
Yeah. Okay.
I have gotten better in that time. I used to say I haven't really gotten much better. I have gotten better, but that's just from sheer repetition and doing it, which is maybe all there is to it.
That's me, man. I never took a lesson. I just kept fucking hammering away. That's it.
And so if there's one thing I have, it's a work ethic. I may not have the best physical or mental ability to pick it up, but god damn it, if you show me something, and I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna play something. It may not be quite right for a while. There's songs that I've played wrong for like months until until we get to sort of a recording, and Nate will go, "Oh no, the fingers
That's the
go
wrong
here."
note. Totally.
Yeah,
Man.
and I'm like,
Fuck.
you should have told me 2 months ago, because to unlearn it. Do you have this problem where to unlearn it is harder than it is to relearn it?
Yeah, I have that problem with when I look at tiny little changes in what I'm playing. It's like, oh, like not so much I've been doing it wrong, but I could do that easier. But then it's like I'm still going back to like doing it more difficult because it's ingrained in my brain.
Yeah, and the repetition there is helpful because there's been times where I'm totally lost because we're not playing with a great setup, or I can't hear myself, or I hear myself too much and I can't hear Nate, and you get lost in that sometimes.
Yeah. So it's like you were like wanted to sing in a band, but then you signed up for bass, and to your words, would prefer maybe to have sung, but so it's a question of like, so why were you like, yeah, I'll commit to the bass and commit to this band after all the run of bands? Like, what made you want to do that?
I'm not sure. I think I missed it. Deep down, I know I missed being in a band. Like, even though I kind of grumble about it, I've been in System's been running now for 5 years, 6 years, like a long time. And so I made the joke when we started that, oh, well, we finally, lost everybody else who might move away or or drop out or give up or develop a career. Although maybe I'm
That's
the loose.
You, yeah.
But there's a bit of pride in me too, where I've said that I gotta keep at it.
I hear you.
Because if there's nothing, I'm stubborn. So I love hanging out with Nate and Grant, and I love the work that we do. I don't love all the songs, but I do. Like for the most part, they weed themselves out. So it's like the stuff that I'm not too I do have one skill. And well, I have many skills, but I have one skill in particular in a band context where I can hear how a song should go. I may not be able to write it, but I can go, oh, you know what? Like if Nate's stuck for a riff and he plays me the riff, it would go good after that. This sort of thing. Play it kind of slower, play it here, or just shove it an octave up or something. I'm good at that. Like I can hear in my head how something else should follow that thing.
Well, that's a skill, man. Like arrangement, that type of shit is crucial. It helps keep moving things forward. But
99% of the time, Nate comes with a almost fully formed idea, and then he's like, "Here, I'm going to show you this riff," and because he's been playing it 6 months, it's kind of like, "Oh shit, you're fucking playing it at Lightspeed, man! Slow down. I'm old."
Well, but like it must, you miss it, and it's fun to. I love it. It's it's the best shit ever. And when you started it, did you guys see? Was it a talk of like we're gonna do an LP? Because I think when you guys did the Isolation LP, like that's a real commitment financially. That's like a step up. You have people who are in bands that do it, but then there's that little notch up of like playing out of town or like a tour or like an LP. That's like, it's kind of like, oh, these guys like are serious.
Well, yeah, and I'm always serious about the things I do. In fact, probably too serious about the things. Where, Nate's the prime driver in this band, but I'm sort of the guy who, I'm much like the bass, who holds the drums and the guitar together, or acts as an intermediary to sort of bring the melody to the rhythm. And that's how I see it. I know that doesn't work for all contexts. Certainly not for Grabert. But you do have an element of that.
Because you like curated all the artwork and stuff, right?
Yeah, I did the artwork, the insert, the promotion, the design, and that stuff for me is real fun because
Wow, it looked so good, man. It showed. It was like there's effort. There's more than just like, yeah. You take the few extra steps you took on my end was like, oh wow, this is really something that means something to these guys.
Well, and you know, the part of that was, you know, my 90s sort of thing. Like I grew up in the 90s in a punk rock sense. And so a lot of time was spent on inserts and labels and all that sort of minutia, which I think sometimes get skipped over a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I think also in some aspects, I did drop the ball a little bit because it's actually, there's another band called Hatred Surge who had a 7-inch called Isolated Man, who I clearly, you know, I had not seen prior to, but they used the same Time Life art that I copped and the same font.
Of course.
So I wonder if, you know, maybe in my record collecting nerditry, did I like see that record somewhere and it just stuck in the back of my head?
It could be, man. Like, what? There's some sort of smart saying that I'm gonna fuck up, but like, it's inspiration. It's not. You can like jack someone's shit, but if you unintentionally do it, that's just inspiration.
Yeah. So, and you know, it worked so perfectly well thematically with the lyrics. Like, isolation is the key theme in that first. I mean, it's a 12-inch EP, but yeah, LP. And yeah, we did want to do something different. Those guys had put out a 7-inch before. I had put out a 7-inch. A solo, well, not solo stuff. Me and Brett are in Skull Servant.
Actually, can I ask, was that the southeast thing? Like the cassette on Bandcamp, it says Skull Servant Northeast / Southeast.
No. Noise Ensemble, Noise Ensemble, Sonic Experiments.
Okay.
So it was a way to discern from a band to the noise.
Okay.
But at some point we decided to just skip it.
I see. Okay.
So the idea of that band, you're familiar with Man is the Bastard?
Yeah.
So it's obviously a huge homage to that sort of period in time where they put out the split with, was it Melt Banana or The Locust? One of those two.
Okay.
And they had two really, it was as Man is the Bastard was transforming into Bastard Noise.
Okay.
We wanted to capture something in that range.
Okay.
But we also, I'm a huge Einstürzende Neubauten fan. Like, love that band to death. Would, you know, they're a bucket list band for me. I need to go to Europe to see them because they don't tour in the States anymore.
Okay.
Because you can't bring, you know, the 9 million pieces of, you know, rebuilt instruments to America. There's no money in it. But I love that band. Test Department's another band. So we wanted to get, you know, kind of merge up those ideas and then also throw in some modern sort of hardcore punk aspects to it.
Okay.
And really deal with the idea of surveillance and the surveillance that we participate in and the surveillance that we willingly consume as entertainment. And there's all sorts of stuff. And unfortunately, I've got like, you know, just the backup of life. I've got like 3 or 4 finished Skull Servant noise stuff.
Oh, cool.
Ready to go. And I'm just like, I want to put it out as a lathe cut. And, you know, finances have been tight as always.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way. But it's sitting there, and that's probably a 2019 project for sure. I do need to finish the art for that. I've got a tape that's ready to go, and I've got because I run, you know, Psychic Pain Records now, and also Servant Music. It's kind of like I've got sort of all these things that are kind of close to going, but and then another 7-inch for System too.
Well, wow. What? How long was the whole sort of process for that isolation thing? Like, was it like the artwork? It'd say like the idea to do that extra like cover and stuff. Did it? Because, like, looking ahead, it's like you have all these projects, and it sounds like if you're going to put that same amount of time into each of these, like, it's going to take a lot of time.
To be honest, the artwork didn't take long.
No, eh?
It doesn't take me long to do that. Once I have a good, clear concept, it took me 2 weeks to mock up, and then a couple of weeks to fine tune. So like a month.
Okay.
The insert took a little more time, but I wrote so on the lyrics side. There's Nate's lyrics, so I had to transcribe those from his handwritten notes and then make sure that they were correct.
Okay.
And then on the other side is some artwork that we wanted to use, but I wanted to transform it, so I added in the text that's in there.
Okay.
And it's sort of like a choose your own adventure text, but it's sort of my take on Nate's lyrics from a political aspect.
Interesting.
So, and we didn't really talk about it.
Okay.
It just kind of happened, and nobody. I showed it to them and I said, "Hey, is this cool?" And nobody said no. So it was the backside of the insert.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Like it's a whole, again, like the package that shows that you care about that type of stuff. And for a band, like you guys are older guys, and it's, probably your guys' 10th, 13th band since you started playing music. So when you pressed it, was it like 300 copies? Because even that's like, you have to decide how many to do.
Yeah. And that was a tough choice. I'm old school in that sense. I'd rather, spend a little more, or a lot more in this context, and get the price per unit down. So even with, pressing 300, I got 2 boxes of records. So if anyone's listening and they like it, please buy
a box.
You don't need to buy a box. I'll be okay with. Like,
One.
these will go.
Yeah.
Like, we'll eventually play enough places where people play. Like, every time we play, 2 or 3 go. The market isn't quite the same as it was when in the 90s. You could press, 1,000 records, and half of them will be gone in trade, and, you make, good networks. The postage costs just fuck everything.
Oh, my God. It's bananas, yeah. We just dealt with that shit, and it sucks.
Yeah, it really does suck when you got to spend $30 to mail a $15 record.
I know.
So there's a couple of things that I've been sort of sneakily doing. I went to Houston on a work trip, but I took 15 records, dropped them off at record stores.
Cool.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And strangely, I got a check back from one of them. So
cool.
It was kind of like, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is really cool, because it's like I'm not coming back here to be like, hey, where's my money? So thank you for being an honest person and sending me cash.
Well, yeah, and it was. I mean, it doesn't hurt that I had a half hour conversation with the owner. And,
Yeah, that helps. You'd hope.
I know how to schmooze a little.
But yeah, it's cool. Like, it's just, you guys care. You guys fucking made an effort to write something and create something and put a lot of money into it that you might not get back into something that's really cool. And
I think, for me, putting out an LP is kind of like a signature moment for people who are in music. And so I when we talked about it, we had discussions as we were recording, and because here again is the sad woe of us tale a little bit. But, so we recorded at Audiolab.
Okay.
Who are famous for, being the place that Fucked Up recorded.
Oh, okay.
The place that Career Suicide recorded. The place that Gunnar Hansen recorded. The place that, a whole bunch of early 2000 sort of hardcore bands.
Yep.
And not that Fucked Up is a hardcore band anymore, but those bands were recorded there. And Chris Heggie did a great job with those work. And when Gunnar Hansen recorded there, they were really, felt really at home, felt great. So we went back to Chris. And so when we went into record Isolation, it was, it was an easy process. We knocked it out in 7 or 8 hours.
Cool.
And then we said, okay, well, let's take it home and we'll come back and do a mix. And he's like, well, here's the thing. And I was like, uh-oh. We were thinking, you're closing? Yeah. He's like, well, I'm selling this building and I'm moving to Hamilton.
Huh.
And it's like, oh, okay. Well, when do you think you'll be up and running in Hamilton? Oh, probably around February. So that was August, I
Okay.
think, that we recorded. And so we said, well, we're in no hurry. If we get the mix done in February, we'll be able to do something like, or January, February, we'll be able to, put it into the plant by March, get it out in time for early summer, and maybe, do some more extensive playing. That turned into May because Chris had run into some health issues and getting his studio set up was not a priority.
Huh.
And then we had scheduled to do a session in May, a mix session in May. It turned into June.
Fuck.
No, we got it finished in May. It was March, April. March and April got canned for some reason, and then we got it done by May, which is great. We were done. And then we got it in and back by July. Like, it was like a real quick turnaround.
Did you guys press it at, where'd you press it, actually?
Precision.
Okay, word, okay.
Yeah. And again, million years ago, Gord from Deranged Records had sort of put out a feeler when Black Eyes Club was around, because we had, we played really quick sets. Like, our set was like 15 minutes.
Okay.
10 or 11 songs. So I don't know if that was youth or just we were fast.
Yeah.
But we were fast.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of really, really good songs that people like immediately like, when you play a song and people just immediately react to it. That we had with a couple of songs. So we knew we had something good. And Gord had sort of said, well, if you get your shit together, go record, let me listen to the tapes, and if it's good, I'll put it out.
Cool.
So we kind of had this informal deal with Gord, and so we could have been, on Deranged, I guess, if we'd have been able to pull it together. So years later, Gord is the broker for our record.
Oh, wow, okay. Huh.
So
crazy.
it was kind of like,
we're here.
here. Put this one out, too.
Yeah. You guys did different variants, right? You did a gray and a black?
Yeah, we did a gray. Technically, it's silver.
Okay.
Which is an inside joke for us being old.
Comes with, like, a piece of your hair.
Well, there is the ability to press your ashes into a record. So
one day.
But no, and, Nate's not that old. Like, I'm 45. Grant, I think, is like 42. And he's in the best shape of the bunch of us. Nate, I think, is the youngin at 35. So
yeah, that's me. I got grays too, though. I got grays. It's like the whole. It's exciting, When I play with you guys, it's an exciting band, and like the vinyl looks great. It's cool that there's another one coming. Shit, I didn't know that. Yeah,
well, and to finish off the story, we went in to record at Audio Lab in Hamilton.
Oh yes, yeah, okay.
And Chris did our next 7-inch too. So. And so that's just off getting mastered at Mammoth again, and we'll probably go with Precision again, and hopefully it'll be out mid-year next year. That's hopeful.
Are these the two that are on Bandcamp, the unmastered?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about that. Like, it's like, to put it. Why did you guys put it on Bandcamp versus keeping it until it was like, here's the new shit on the 7-inch? Like, what was the thinking of, like, just put it out there?
I think, I mean, it was, there was no calculation, to be fair. We just decided, like, I think we're a live band.
Okay.
To me, I think our best experience is live. I think as a recorded band, we're a different band. And this is something that I've struggled with trying to understand and how we can sort of make things work. Because I think there's a bit of a disconnect about us a little bit in that we don't have a sound that's easily identifiable.
Okay.
I don't think we fit into any sort of punk subculture. We don't really fit neatly into a hardcore mode because we have some songs that are kind of like, a little bit softer and a little bit, more contemplative. We have songs that are kind of metally. but we aren't full-on metalcore. We don't have mosh parts. We don't have breakdowns, although there's a couple songs where we've sort of built in breakdowns as a kind of inside joke for us. Really.
Okay.
And so I think we're just kind of like, hey, we're really proud of this stuff. You should listen to it.
Well, I think... sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I think that's all there is to that. We're just really happy to share it. And really, the vinyl piece is, I think, in many ways, we probably shouldn't put out a record, but for fuck's sakes, like, we're all paid. We all have good jobs. It's not like...
Well, you know what? And you never know what it might mean to someone else. Like, it's so close to you that once it's out there, someone else, some kid it might be the portal to them being 45 on a podcast talking about, like, I got this 7-inch.
Yeah. Well, and, I think that, Jamie Problem talks a lot about that too. Like, he's got, he's, 50 plus. And he talks about how he's constantly reinvigorated by the youngsters around him. And so that's how it is for me too. Like, playing, these shows, it's so, the one thing that drives me the most is going to see bands play when I'm not playing and going, I could blow them out of the water. Like getting that, like, oh, I could, or playing a show and having bands play before you who are great and you go, oh, fuck, we got to up our game.
Yeah.
I love that because as soon as that switches, like, I'm super competitive that way. Like, I don't want to be... That's why I like playing with you guys, because you guys always force us to play better.
Hey, man. Thanks.
Whether you're playing before us or after us, because I know you're just going to, like, be like, oh, we can't suck. We got to be really good.
Man, I have moments like that where we're either band where I'm playing and I'm all in my head and it's like, I'm the worst ever. And then I think, like, well, no, people like my band, like my friends like my band, and strangers like me. I have to like, I have a conversation with myself mid-set sometimes, like, yeah.
Well,
it's crazy.
Yeah, fuck. You shouldn't.
Nah,
you shouldn't.
I do.
But this will just become a mutual compliment fest.
Yeah, fuck.
But,
it's cool to it's cool to press shit because it is. I don't know. It's something tangible. It's in the real world. It's like my ideas are here on this thing, and some kid. We were all those kids. I talk about this a lot. Where it's like we were those young kids that were easily influenced, and
it's not that long ago.
No, it doesn't. It's fuck, man. It's crazy. I feel like the last 15 years have been 5 years for me.
Yeah, and as you get older, it gets faster.
Oh.
There's no hope for you.
Yeah, just end it all now.
Grind. You'll be grinding too fast for your own good.
So I guess, like, shit. What else? You'll have this shit coming up. You guys just did this show. I wanted to. Actually, we can talk about this for a little bit. I do these about an hour, and then I kind of shut her down.
Okay.
I just have to do that because I've had some that are like 2 hours long, and it's like, that's too long. This isn't like it's too long. But the skull serve and stuff, and like the noise aspect and noise in general. Here's two questions: when you play a noise set, what's a good set for you? And when you're watching a noise set, what makes it a good set? Because it's so different, like a noise set.
Yeah, and so for me, it's going to be different than Brad. Just to be frank, he has a different approach. We are almost diametrically opposite in that sense. Whereas in System, I'm kind of the guy who is having a little meltdown. Brett is the guy having the meltdown, so I have to be the responsible one.
Interesting.
To make sure that, the gear doesn't get totally trashed. Because some of it is really fucking, like, sensitive. Like, I built our main box is sort of a weird sound generator with some soldering errors that I can't recreate.
Okay.
And I've tried, and so it's really sort of touchy. So I've dropped it a couple times, and it's like, is this going to work?
Okay.
But so for me, a good noise set is because it's all performance, almost every noise set is good. I think, though, that there's an element there where you're telling a story, and so we're trying to build an interactive experience. Well, I'm trying to build an interactive experience. I shouldn't talk for Brett, but I'm trying to build an interactive experience where we are confrontationally sonically, but also on a subtext. So when we're sort of like, because we almost always have a vocal track, but it's usually a sampled vocal track. Like we've had, I manipulated a sample of Obama saying "prism" into "prison." So I'm a big NPR fan, so
Okay.
I like record NPR stuff.
Word.
I've got like hours and hours of like presidential speeches,
Interesting. Okay.
and I just pull words from them and recontextualize it. Because I think that's part of what Skull Servant is about, is trying to figure out what is truth.
Wow. Okay.
And because that's a part of, what is surveillance.
Huh.
Surveillance can occur in your own mind. So if we've sort of dug at that sort of idea, I think that's a successful interactive experience. I don't know if it's a set or like, I don't know what to call it.
Huh.
I'm not a huge noise fan. Like I can appreciate it. The stuff that I've really, really like and really sort of resonate with is stuff that feels like a song but isn't, or feels like a soundtrack but isn't. Which is kind of a weird statement because it's hey, that's nothing.
Wow.
But
And
but you get what
I do, because when I see certain noise sets, sometimes I get lost in it and I'm on a ride, and other times it does nothing for me. So it's like there's something happening to me depending on who's behind the controls of this noise. So it's like kind of, I don't participate, I don't make noise, so it's kind of cool to try to think of it through you, like, because you're behind the boards, that like you're creating it. It's an interesting genre for sure. I don't understand it, but it doesn't mean that. It's like everything. There can be like good fucking hardcore bands and like complete dog shit hardcore bands. There's like complete dog shit noise and then some good noise, which is, I know it's real. I know it's a thing. I've felt it.
Yeah. Well, and that's so. I mean, maybe, and because noise is trying to be the anti-music, but I'm gonna, I would brush against that and say that the stuff that we compose with Skull Servant is not entirely improvisational. So it's not off the cuff, but it is in some ways. And then, of course, the Skull Servant band, which was a thing for a hot minute and then kind of dissolved, that was trying to be more of a power violence aspect of, the noise set. But we just decided that it was too hard, and we were trying to incorporate the same theatrics that we used in Skull Servant for both aspects. So we could, the masks and the whole idea of hiding your identity, which I've just given up because, everybody kind of knows it's me and Brett.
Yeah.
We're immediately identifiable, and I think it's kind of fun though to play with those ideas. Like I think, because the Skull Servant thing is definitely a persona. It's not that different than my bass playing persona, which is all elements of me.
Okay.
But maybe more controlled. So what do I appreciate in a noise set? That sort of, that resonance with me. So usually it's a low bass frequency that's hitting you in the gut and somebody doing something interesting and physical. I'm not really into the people that are doing, the knob twiddling and then standing there pensively for like a minute or two.
Yeah.
I am a little more old school, and so I kind of expect somebody to hit something.
Yeah.
Whether that's an audience member or not is up to you, but probably not the best way to go. I certainly have been known to not take kindly to be assaulted impromptu.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Not quite what I signed up for going to show.
Well, no, I've certainly signed up for those sorts of shows, but I knew what I was going into.
Yeah. Huh. It is. There's. When did it happen recently? Yeah, recently. This last weekend, we played with a guy, and it was partially noise, and he was kind of singing. It was just another thing about it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it, but there's certain sets that I do feel. Maybe one day I'll do it. I should almost do it just to. Well, I'm gonna not do it. I'm not even gonna lie. There's no I'm no way in hell I'm gonna start a fucking noise thing. I have too many things on the go. Listen to me.
Yeah, well,
Jesus Christ.
Although the best use of, well, not the best, but one use that I saw, and maybe it's something that, maybe if you're interested in dabbling, I'm sure you've seen triggers for drums. I don't know how you feel about triggers for drums. I know these are very polarizing topics. I'm not talking about Sepultura though. I've seen people actually play drums with a separate drum entirely, like a floor tom that's triggered to trigger off some sort of sound effect or other thing. I've also seen drums where they've used metal as the skins.
Interesting.
Which is something that I tried to build and failed miserably. It's incredibly difficult. But I'm a huge fan of and I think it digs at what got me interested in doing post-production audio for film, which is that I love playing with sound. Like if I had, won the lottery or something, I'd love to just sit on a computer and, manipulate sounds until they, become really annoying.
You just fucking loop the Jim Carrey noise when he says, "You want to hear the most annoying sound ever?" 10 hours
Somebody
of
did that actually.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's a 20-minute edit of that on YouTube.
I'm sure. There's 10 hours of
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. It's interesting stuff, man. But yeah, I do this about this long. Let me do the Hibzine. Were you ever part of the Hibzine?
No.
You remember what that was? For a hot minute, Mark was doing this zine where he just would talk to his friends and it would have their picture and it'd have a suggested album that was
okay.
You should check this band out because of this and that. So originally, as what I was doing, where I was like, oh, you pick something, but I think it's more interesting when people hear a guest talk about their craft, they get to hear some of it. So
okay.
I don't know. Did you want to? I'll ask you. Did you want to play? If it was up to you, one of the new unreleased or unmastered tracks, or something off of Isolation.
I'm of two minds.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly don't know what's up on Bandcamp. Is it no word?
Let's see here.
Is it? I'm pretty sure it's F for Effort and.
One of them is Every Day and Through the Window.
So, okay,
is
cool.
The other one.
So Every Day will be on side B of the. So yeah, Every Day is probably an awesome song to do.
Cool.
Here's why.
Okay.
First of all, it's a song I wrote.
Okay. Cool.
And it's a song I wrote trying to rip off a riff from my current favorite hardcore band, Forward.
Okay.
They have a song off one of their early albums, and I just kind of liked how it was. It's this mid-tempo thing that got dropped in the middle of an album, and you just kind of go, "What the fuck?"
Okay.
But it's awesome, and it's so Motorheady.
Uh-huh.
So I tried to play the riff, and I fucked it up. And then I added some other stuff to it, and so Every Day it started out as a bass riff. Originally, the first note was supposed to be played to an annoying amount of times, 16 or 32 times. So it's just dun 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 dun. So people would just start the head nod, and then all of a sudden the song comes crashing in. Eventually, the boys in Never Trust vetoed that. So this was a Never Trust song.
Oh wow! Okay. Oh, cool.
So it's actually on our demo too, if you can find it on MySpace. That's how old that is.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wrote down to play every day. On my end I was going to, but then I thought of asking you.
So every day is my choice. And at the end of every day is my vocal contribution.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, well, I'll put it in after because I have to edit it. But this is every day. This is going to be the B-side on the upcoming 7-inch?
It's going to be one of the songs on the B-side, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Unless things change.
Okay, cool. I'll put that in right here. Was Every Day by System. That's kind of it, man. Shit. So like, how do people? I'm gonna like, what is it? I'm looking right now. System.bandcamp.com.
Yep. You can email if you do that old shit. systempunk@gmail.com.
Okay. Word.
We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram.
Okay.
Nate opened up the Instagram. So find us at any of those spots. Offer us a show. We're always happy to travel and play. We really want to play your town.
Yeah.
Because if you're interested in us, we're interested in you.
Yeah, wherever your town is. Cambridge, Hamilton. Oh, I guess you're Hamilton, sorry. Guelph, Toronto.
Well, we'll play Hamilton.
Yeah, you'll play
Hamilton. We have played it once or twice.
Cool. And how about the Skull Servant stuff? I had it here online somewhere.
Yeah, we're laying low. We're not actually... So Brett and I are we're good friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say we're not, and I don't want to give that impression at all. But we have ebbs and flows around Skull Servant. So when the mood strikes us, he's been doing a lot of stuff in Chain to Pleasure. So I just sort of backed off, and I've been doing bits and pieces here and there.
Okay.
I've got 3 or 4 thematically sort of timed things that are about specific surveillance related projects, and he'll come over and we'll record some stuff, and I'll splice it in, weave it in. But the recordings are never played really live. Like we kind of can do it, but it's improv enough that it's hard to replicate. So, when the time comes and we're together, we'll practice and play and have a great time. And then when the time's not right, like now, we're on hiatus.
Okay. All right. Well, people can check that skullservant.bandcamp.com. And yeah, I think that's it, man. I don't know. I'm glad we could have this actual conversation that's not at a show with loud amps and, not at an awkward flea market where it's like so hard to have like a private conversation. I don't know why I do those. I think they're a good idea. And then I get there and I'm like, this is really weird, but I'm glad we could do this, man.
Hey, I was amazed that you could hold it together. Like, I'm terrible at having a conversation. because my mind goes like 900 miles the other way. So I was like in awe that you and Jaibe and Z were just able to like kind of riff on it. And I'm just like, I want to say hi, but he's in the middle of something.
Yeah.
He'll see me. Like I stick out in the crowd.
Well, yeah, I'm glad we could do it though, man. I feel like, I don't know. I'm always like thankful that you give a shit about what I'm doing. So it's, I try to reciprocate that to my friends and what they're doing too. So that's kind of it. When you're doing good stuff, it's always good to raise the level of appreciation. It's a fuel, I think, that we all need when it's like doing this weird type of stuff. But this will go up on Monday, and I'll just tag you, and you can share it wherever and stuff. But yeah, that's sounds good. That's about it, man. Thank you so much, dude. That was fun. Always good to have a conversation. Yeah, man. I'll see you around, I'm sure. Yeah, you guys are playing down here on December 22nd. That's right. I'll be there. Okay, we'll be there. We'll high five. I'll bring you some Oreos. Okay, man. All right, thanks, buddy. All right, take it easy. All right, peace, buddy. All right, thanks for listening to the episode, friends. Again, just a reminder that the December 12th live stream is at 8 p.m. on Facebook and Instagram. Go to the Take a Ride homepage, and you'll find it there. Well, the Facebook page, I should say. The event page is there. All love to the sponsors. Let me shout them quick. Heartbeat Hot Sauce for hot sauce. It's delicious. It's fucking good. Promo code TakerWide5, 5% off your cart. HeartbeatHotSauce.com. DFA Tattoos, 328 St. Catherine Est in Montreal. DFATattoos.com. Go check them out. Go get tatted by some talented cats. Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota, 3121 King Street East in Kitchener. Special pricing on new vehicles when you mention the show. IroncladGraphics.com is a screen printing company in Kingston. They ship coast to coast. Professionals, been doing it for a long time. Great place. DapperBeardOil.com. If you're into beard oils and you want to save some shipping, use TakerWide free ship. Save on the shipping. WellingtonBrewery.ca for the beers. DaveLevittPhotography.ca if you need photos. And yeah, these are up every Monday mostly. And I have the Instagram page. Just Take a Wide Podcast. The homepage, TakerWide.com. There's the newsletter if you want to sign up. There's better deals from the sponsors as well once you sign up for that and get a newsletter. It's just a recap of the episodes with videos of the bands and this and that. And what else? I got the Take a Wide shirts still available if you guys want to grab those. $20. Designed by Shawnee, a.k.a. Wormzilla. What else can I say? I don't know. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for consistently tuning into this show. And I hope you guys get stuff out of it. And I hope I see you guys around. Okay? Be good. Peace.